They say you don't notice your house is burning until you smell the smoke. But if I'm being honest, the air had been thick with it for months. I just kept telling myself it was fog. I convinced myself I was overreacting, that it was just the stress of a long marriage. My name is Mark. Sarah and I were together for 7 years. To anyone looking from the outside, we lived the dream. A golden retriever named Cooper, a cozy house in the suburbs, and those Friday night traditions that made everything feel permanent. I'm a programmer. I live in a world of logic. If A happens, B must follow. Code doesn't lie. But love? Love is a chaotic script that doesn't follow any rules. The first syntax error happened with her phone. It's so cliché it makes me sick to talk about it. We never had secrets. Passwords were just a convenience, not a security measure. Then one Tuesday I reached for her phone to check the weather. Mine was charging across the room. She didn't just take it back, she snatched it. Her eyes were wide, her hands were visibly trembling. She looked like she was guarding a detonator. It's work stuff, Mark. Confidential. I signed an NDA. Her voice was an octave higher than usual. My logical brain flagged it immediately. Critical error. Confidential emails at 11 p.m. on a Tuesday? But I played the role of the normal husband. I didn't want to be the paranoid guy who interrogates his wife over a weather app. The fog only got thicker from there. Sarah started staying late. Every single client suddenly had a crisis that required her presence until 10 p.m. When she came home, she was like a ghost. She'd walk past me, her mind light years away. She became cold, physically cold. Have you ever tried to hug someone you love, only to feel them turn into a pillar of stone? It's a special kind of torture. You're holding the person you married, but you're touching a stranger. The point of no return was our anniversary, November 14th, 7 years. I booked a table at the restaurant where I proposed. I sat there in the tie she bought me, watching the candle wax drip slowly onto the white tablecloth. I was surrounded by happy couples, but I was the only one staring at a phone screen. Then the text came. Stuck in a meeting, total nightmare. Eat without me, I'll be home soon. I didn't eat. I paid for the water and drove home. But I didn't go inside. I parked my car in the shadows under the neighbor's trees and just waited. Call it a gut feeling. Call it instinct. 20 minutes later, a silver BMW pulls up. Sarah gets out, but it wasn't a quick exit. She leaned back into the car for a goodbye kiss that lasted long enough to shatter every remaining hope I had. In that moment, my heart didn't break. It froze. It became a hard, cold lump of ice in my chest. I waited for the BMW to disappear before I walked into the house. She was already in the kitchen, casually pouring a glass of wine. She looked perfectly at peace. "How was the meeting?" I asked. My voice sounded hollow, like it was coming from a different room. "Exhausting," she sighed. "My boss is a tyrant. I'm so sorry about dinner, Mark. I'll make it up to you this weekend." She lied so smoothly, so professionally. It was terrifying. I realized I didn't know the woman standing in my kitchen. "I saw the silver BMW, Sarah," I said softly. The sound of her glass hitting the counter felt like a gunshot. The silence that followed was so heavy it made my ears ring. "It was just a colleague dropping me off," she said, her back still turned to me. "On our anniversary, at 10:30 at night? The same colleague you've been working late with for the last 3 months?" She turned around and for a split second I saw guilt, but it was gone in a heartbeat, replaced by pure aggression. Then came the classic script. "You're stalking me. You don't trust me. I'm under so much stress and you're making it worse." I didn't shout back. I just walked into my office. She had forgotten one thing. Years ago, we set up a shared iCloud account for our family photos and messages. I hadn't looked at it in years because I trusted her. While she was screaming at me from the hallway, I logged in. And there it was. Everything. Months of messages. Photos that I can never unsee. Plans for their future. His name was Julian. He was a client. But the most disgusting part? She was using our private life as currency. She was telling him about my fears, my failures at work, our intimate problems, just to build a bond with him. I had to run to the bathroom because I was physically sick. When I came out, she was standing by the screen. The game was over. Mark, it didn't mean anything. I was lonely. You're always working, and he just listened. I was working to pay for this house, Sarah, for our future. If you were lonely, you should have talked to your husband, not a stranger. The weeks that followed are a blur of suitcases, lawyers, and paperwork. But the hardest part wasn't the legal battle. It was our dog, Cooper. Every evening at 6 p.m., he still sits by the door. He tilts his head at every car that passes, waiting for the woman who is never coming back. It's been a year, and he still looks at me with those sad, questioning eyes. Trust is a fragile thing. Once it's gone, you realize it wasn't just a feeling. It was the foundation of your reality. My house burned down to the ground. But the land underneath, that's still mine. And this time I'm building something stronger. Something based on truth, not fog. If you've ever felt like you were losing your mind because your partner was gaslighting you, this story is for you. Don't let them define who you are. What was the most hurtful thing your ex said to you when they got caught? Let's expose their tactics in the comments. Like this video to reclaim your power and subscribe for more real stories.